was that there was a show being promoted at Cobo Arena in Detroit, which is an iconic and historic landmark for not only rock and roll bands and acts and whatever through the 60s, 70s, 80s, etc., but also for professional wrestling, where one of the legends of Detroit wrestling, the Sheik, and later on his nephew Sabu, who, fun fact, bought me my first professional wrestling license when Michigan used to sanction professional wrestlers, meaning a doctor used to come in the back, a cigarette hanging out of his mouth, and do your blood pressure, and that was the extent of your qualifications to be an athlete to perform that night. I was able to wrestle on this Legends and Best of Detroit show against one of my best friends in the world, who is an amazing guy, and in a couple months I'll be honored with him in another Hall of Fame induction in Michigan, Andy Muscat, where Andy had his retirement match and wanted to have it against me. So, knowing Al Snow after 17 years of not seeing Al, who's now a successful merchandiser of t-shirts, Collar and Elbow. I say support them. I'm not a sponsored athlete. I don't make any money off of Al. He's paid me in ways that money can't quantify. But I was terrified going to Cobo that night to see a guy who was, again, not only a mentor, but like a father figure to me when I was a lost kid trying to find my way. And he helped me and countless other young guys to really find our way and put up with the stupidity of late teen, early 20-something idiots full of testosterone, piss and vinegar, as they say in a bygone day. He helped me to become a man in a lot of ways that he probably doesn't even realize. But I'm one of many young men and women that have been under his mentorship and guidance. And because of him, in less than 4 years, I was able to get a WWE tryout and be invited back many times, and was able to turn them down on my own terms because my life was changing and I was growing and moving on. So what took me 4 years under his guidance took him 15 to 17 years. Again, forgive me, Al, for not knowing the exact timeline. But this guy, here I am, a 5 foot, 100 nothing, 5 nothing, 100 nothing little troll of a man, which he affectionately, motherfucker, nicknamed Jimmy V, vertically challenged. And I was, and I still am, probably even shorter now than I was then, but you know, he loved me like a son and really helped me through a lot more than I said, you know, like I said, he even realizes. But you know, he was, you know, doing so well for himself, even though he wrestles at this point in time part-time and has countless professional wrestling schools on many continents now, and again has his Collar and Elbow t-shirt brand, which is extremely successful, and it couldn't happen to a better guy, much like Dwayne Johnson and his success. Again, another good guy. You know, it's always nice to see the good guys win, because you always think that, you know, the rich and those with favor and those that do well are just evil people, or they're Illuminati, or they're just, you know, people that, you know, cut corners and hurt others to get ahead. But I can tell you firsthand, knowing guys that were rags to riches and never changed, those are two guys I can definitely put my stamp of approval on, because I saw it firsthand. But anyways, so I was terrified knowing that Al Snow was going to be there at this meet and greet, And I thought, God, it's been 17 years. I haven't seen this man. I have no idea if he's going to remember me, or because that was my biggest fear. It wasn't the match I was going to have that night, which we had a semi-main event match and we tore the house down. We had a great time, myself and Andy Muscat. But my biggest fear is here I am walking in with my then girlfriend and my son after talking up Al Snow and like just nerves, jitters, like more jitters I think than I'd ever had going into a professional wrestling match or event. And I walk in and the first table I see with his merchandise and everything is Al Snow. And I looked, gazed at him, he stands up, he looks at me, and he gets up on his chair and he's like, it's Jimmy V. V stands for vertically challenged. And I think I must have had the biggest smile on my face for the next week, because as much as he meant to me to feel that love and to realize after 17 years or so, from like 99, 2000, whatever it was, to late 2017, that he could see me and immediately remember and recognize and go back in the time machine to remember me meant the world. And it was one of those moments that is, it's stamped, etched in stone on my heart, that qualifies and quantifies my last point. That is, and I'm gonna be okay. I know I get long-winded, but I think I'm a good storyteller. So hopefully you hung in there and listened to this whole rant. And today, it's amazing because earlier it was rainy, gloomy, cold, and I got super bundled up to go out here for this walk. And with no intentions of releasing this video. I don't know if it's going to be one shot or 3-part deal or what or whatever, but now it's sunny, it's beautiful, it's a little muggy, but that's okay because it's helping me sweat out all the toxins and impurities, which is I think what my verbal diarrhea when I cut these videos does. It's very therapeutic. And I hope that even one of you gets something from it and it gives you a little bit of encouragement for the day and through what you're going through. Because believe me, a lot of times I feel like I am you, and that means I feel alone. You know, I can feel hopeless. I can feel helpless. And I can feel that anything that anyone might hold against me is justified and valid. And when things go bad, that's karma. But at the end of the day, I'll be honest, fuck karma. Fuck you, karma. I think that's just a view held by people that can't get vengeance on somebody that they perceived hurt them or intended to hurt them. And I think that just shows where their maturity level is at that moment in time, and or where their pain level is, or their level of hurt. And I don't usually say anything about how and what I really think about karma, but I'll just put it out there now. If I'm being 100% honest and transparent, screw karma. And I think it's a cop-out. You don't need to seek vengeance. You don't need to hurt anybody. You know, it's easy for us to hold on to the hurts that others have caused us and to not look at the pains that we've caused others. But there's those few moments, you guys, when you're feeling alone or when you have moments of clarity that you're finally and truly honest with yourself. And I think this is one of those moments. And if you guys have stuck it through, this video or this series of videos. I appreciate it. I love you for it. And I hope that it really sincerely helps you. So, just stay in there, you guys. Hang in there. And reach out to those that you know love you and care about you. And if you don't feel like you have anybody, reach out to me. I could always use another friend. And I feel like one of my gifts on this earth is to encourage and inspire others, because I know that I've got a paper trail of overcoming the odds. And sometimes it's easy to forget where you came from, and it's easy to forget your victories, but we've all got them. I'm not special. You're just as amazing, if not more amazing, in your story. Your journey is spectacular because it's yours. And to do something like this, I don't know if it's bravery, if it's desperation, if it's just a matter of how I started the video and I had no intentions of sharing it with anybody. But I knew I had to get it out, and the only way I could really do it was to look into this phone and be honest and transparent. And it turned into something I think is beautiful. So, like, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know how it's impacted you. Let me know if you think I'm full of shit like a Christmas turkey, as my father used to say. And don't give up, you guys. Don't give in. Take care. I'll talk to you again soon. There's a lot more to come, baby. Appreciate the gray, and don't call me cray.